Catholic because, I didn't come from a religious background, and I wanted to make his family happy, so I did it more for them. But I told him, I said, if I'm going to bring her up Catholic, you're going to have to go to church. Your views have got to change. And he did. When we were together, he went to church. We went every Sunday. And I could see more and more, his views were changing. He still, to this day, has to be proven. It has to be proven to him. But
many people are like that. They'll do things for the sake of children that they have, okay? Mm-hmm. Because just to keep harmony within the family, okay?
But I could see when we've gone to church, and every now and then, even though we're having our issues, I may say to him, all right, listen, Samantha wants you to go to church with us. Will you come? And we'll go together. We'll sit together, and I can see it in his face, like when the service is going on or towards the end, that he's being uplifted. Or that he...
I don't know if you caught what I said earlier, but when my sons were studying for bar mitzvah, okay, they have to go to services a certain number of times, and obviously they wouldn't go alone. I would go with them. And I remember, because my upbringing as far as religious learning was Orthodox, even though I wasn't Orthodox. And a lot of stuff came back to me, and I really did feel good after the service. Okay? I always felt good. And like I said to Felix before, people feel that it brings them closer to God.
I certainly believe in that, because I'll tell you, again, it's not my religion, but when I do take her to Mass and I go and I sit there and I listen, I come out of there feeling 10 times better with myself, and I feel that there is some kind of praise, that I can conquer whatever, comes my way. That's just me. I don't know how everybody else feels. Again, it's an individual feeling. Everybody has their views and opinions, and I think when it comes to religion, there's really, how much of it is fact and how much of it is opinion, because, again, you can have someone that doesn't believe, you have someone that does believe, and you have the people in between.
Well, you have the 5 books of Moses, which is the Tanakh, which is the Old Testament, which is the Hebrew Bible. Supposedly, if you're a believer, written by God, okay, that was all part of what God gave to Moses when he got the 10 Commandments. The 10 Commandments was only like the tip of the iceberg. There are 613 rules and commandments, and supposedly everything else that was written was Torah, okay? In the New Testament, you have the church itself, when it was formed, okay, selected which portions were going to go into the New Testament. That's why you have Gospels that were written that are not sanctioned by the church, okay, but they'll appear elsewhere. All right? You have Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, but Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John didn't write them because their stories were all oral. And by the time they were written, those guys were dead.
Right.
So it was second and third-hand information that you were getting that was finally being put down on paper, on parchment, and you were told that this was the New Testament. These were the words and teachings of Jesus Christ.
Right, which is every word in the Bible is it Jesus, that it's read, or is it God? I can't remember which one, when it's...
Well, they like to say that if you get the King James Version, they say, the words of Jesus are written in red, but how do you know he said it,
That's the thing. Again, it's what I just pointed out. You don't know what's fact and what's convinced. Listen, to me, honestly, and I just recently thought of this. To me, most religion is man-made. Especially when it comes to Judaism. Who are you to tell me what I can eat and what I can't eat? When, kosher-wise, I'm saying. And then again, it's belief. Who are you to tell me what I can't and cannot wear? It's just the Hasidics that really kill me. And again, I pointed out once before that I have cousins that are Hasidic, and I very rarely see them. The only time I see them is when one of their kids are getting married, and it turns out that one of their daughters is getting married in February, I think, and I'll be going. But I mean, I can't go to their house because they won't invite me because I'm not as Jewish as them. The last time I went, I wore jeans, but I did it because I'm comfortable. That's how I dress. And they don't like it because it's the neighborhood. Someone sees me, they're going to talk. And that turns me away from my religion.
Well, you see, and that's what turns a lot of people away from Jews in general, is the fact that they purposely live in their own ghettos, and they associate with people of their own kind, and, I'm not Jewish enough for them.
Exactly. That's exactly how I feel.
I mean, I know that, my sister has a son who became ultra-religious, and, he would accept me into his home out of respect, and everything, but I don't believe what he believes, and my sister doesn't either, but it's out of respect. Look, it's his mother. You're not going to turn your mother away. She respects me, wears long sleeves, and, she wears pants in the house, doesn't wear a dress, all the way down or whatever, but, and this is why people, don't or shy away from Jews, and Jews have such a bad reputation throughout history, and let's face it also, the church didn't help at the beginning because up until 1963, I believe, or 62, when there was the Second Ecumenical Council, Pope John the 23rd was fantastic. Okay, and I think Francis has the possibilities of being another Pope John the 23rd. Pope John the 23rd. I think that then be a transformative person in the Catholic Church. John the 23rd said that, let's say, he says, Jews did not kill Christ. Up until then, it was practically taught in church. Choose your enemy. When it came to voting whether to choose Barabbas or Jesus, and some people say that the trial never really took place anyway, that the Jews turned against Jesus, and that's why he was crucified. But then again, there's also the side that says that Jesus was fulfilling a certain prophecy, and he knew that he was sacrificing himself. He knew why he was brought into this world, to be sacrificed for the sins of man, blah, 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 and it's something that he accepted at the very end, okay, that this is what he was going to do. He never formed the Catholic Church. He never formed Christianity. He was born a Jew and he died a Jew. It was Paul and Peter that spread the religion and said that Jesus was the Son of God. Okay? Because even his disciples, when he was risen on Easter Sunday, okay, to a certain extent, doubted that he actually rose from the dead until he appeared before them. And he appeared before doubting Thomas. And he showed him the holes in his palms and the spear piercing his right side. Okay? So even the disciples had doubts amongst themselves.
Right.
But anyway, I am going to hang up because I am like overdue here. Have a great weekend, Lisa. And,
thank you, you too.
I'm glad that I hung around to talk to you because you're always a pleasure to talk to.
Thank you.
All right, Mark, feel better.
Okay, and feel better.
Thank you. I will
All right,
try.
Mark, we'll talk to you.
Okay. All right, Felix. Bye-bye.
All right, thanks for calling in, Mark. Lisa,
Yes, Felix.
just me and you, doll.
I know. You were so quiet. I didn't even think you were there anymore.
Well, you know, it's funny. I was sick also, just like you, I guess. Oh, you may have different things, Mark, and we were just going to call in and then just, call in and start the show, and Mark wasn't going to call in at all. And I just made the decision I'm just going to talk for a few minutes and play some Christmas songs, Hanukkah songs, Kwanzaa songs, and that was about it. I don't know when you...
And then Rob called in and then I called in.
Yep. I don't know when you turned the show on.
I turned it on in the beginning.
Oh, you did, so you heard all the songs.
I was listening to your show from the time you started.
Oh, my rambling on?
No, actually, I think no, you were already 2 minutes into your show when I started it, because I'm listening to it from my cell phone. My computer busted. I have to get it fixed.
Yeah. Did you hear that song from The Atheist that sang?
Yes, I did. Oh my God. The pains in my stomach were getting worse from hearing it.
What did you think of it?
I didn't like it at all.
Okay, so you...
I don't like his views. I don't like what he said. It was awful. How does someone get to publish or write a song like that and get away with it?
Well, it wasn't published,
You know what I mean.
Yeah. Well, he writes what he feels.
I mean, I understand freedom of speech and all your rights and yada, 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 but you know what? There are certain things that you just have to keep to yourself. That's something that stirs a lot of trouble. Yeah. I mean, we have enough trouble in this world, with all the hatred that's going on, Ferguson and everything else. We don't need any more fire, it's just uncalled for. But again, and I'm not taking his side. I do understand that you do have the right to express yourself, but not like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I found that, and I thought that would be, I just went through some different things that I found, and I thought that would be interesting, and I also thought what the guy about Iran was talking about was interesting. If you heard that part.
I got bits and pieces of that one. I didn't really hear it too well.
Yeah. Basically what he's saying is, there are a lot of Iranians who are not celebrate Christmas because, Christ, Christ is still in the, Quran. And I assume that's what he's saying.
Christmas is not like it used to be. In my opinion, and again, when I said, there's no fact anymore, it's all opinion. Over the past few years, I've seen that Christmas is more, it's not religious. People celebrate it. There are people that celebrate it materialistically with the shopping and all that. But I see a lot of non-Jews that have Christmas trees. Yes, I'm one. I grew up with a Christmas tree in my house. Always did.
Yeah, well, I can see.
But I have a lot of friends that are Jewish and they have Christmas trees, or they decorate their houses, with Christmas stuff. I don't think it's really all about the birth of Christ anymore. I think it's
it became a very secular holiday, which is not what it was, not necessarily what it was meant to be.
It makes you feel good. This is the time of year that you're supposed to feel good about yourself and everybody else, and it's supposed to be peaceful